Good morning, everyone. I have already started a little bit about industry. We have done classification of industry. On the basis of different criteria, industry can be divided or classified into various sectors or various types. That can be on the basis of ownership, size, nature of product, or maybe raw material. Now here, according to your syllabus, agro-based and mineral-based industries we will do. So according to the raw material, on the basis of raw material. Now as council has already further reduced syllabus, so according to that, industry, agro-based and mineral-based. Agro-based you are having in your syllabus cotton textile industry and sugar industry. And for mineral-based industry you are having iron and steel, other than that petrochemical industry and electronic industry. So today at first we will start cotton textile industry. Before starting that, we will do another thing. We will start industrial region. I will show you industrial regions of India. Okay, then let me draw the industrial zones of India. See students, I am drawing the southern portion mainly. Now here I will show you the industrial zones. See, it is the western zone. I am writing here W. It is eastern zone, written E. And it is, we are talking about southern zone. I have written here S. Now here we are discussing about all the industrial zones of India, various types of industry will know. See, western zone, the regions, we can get Maharashtra, if I am telling the state name, Maharashtra, Gujarat, some portion. Okay, these are the region, little bit central India, Madhya Pradesh, Gwalior, that portion you will have. Then eastern India, Odisha and mainly West Bengal. Then coming to the southern portion, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, little bit portion of Andhra Pradesh. So totally that is the industrial regions of India. Industrial regions of India we are discussing. Now we will start cotton textile industry. As I already mentioned, industry according to your syllabus, agro-based, mineral-based. So we are doing now agro-based. And classification industry, as I told, just given, discussed. Now agro-based industry, the first one, cotton textile industry we are doing. Showing the industrial region, mainly it is located in western India and southern India, little bit in eastern India and also mid India and northern India. Northern India means Ganga, Yamuna, that valley, Yamuna river region, river bank region. There also Kanpur, these are the center, Varanasi, these are the important center, mainly in Uttar Pradesh. Now main centers are located in Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Now students, cotton textile industry is the largest and one of oldest and one of the largest industry of India, one of the very important industry of India. As I already told you some centers over there. Later I will discuss again the centers name. Now as I told, important, then the question comes why? Why it is important? It is generating employment first of all. Next, exchange, foreign exchange we can get, generating foreign exchange also, providing employment, and it support other industry. In that sense, it is very important over here in India. Now, for any industry, for developing any industry, we need some factors which are the helping factors, which are the affecting factors, which are affecting that industry to be grown. As I have started that classification portion, that time I told, you can remember, that these are more or less same for all the type of industry. You can apply that sense to every industry because these are the factor, these are the constant factor needed for all the industry. First of all, raw material. See, without raw material, no industry can be possible. As we are discussing cotton textile, the first thing, raw material, we need proper raw material, long staple cotton or medium staple cotton, properly needed. Climate should be good for cotton, humid climate. Power supply needed, cheap hydroelectric power. Then labor, efficient labor needed. Another factor is very important over here, good connectivity, good communication, transport, rail, road, or port facility. It is also needed. For what port facility, students? Just use your brains. For export and import. Import, bringing that thing, maybe raw material we need, and exporting the finished product. So by what means of transport we will do? Water, port facility needed. Another thing, capital investment is needed. And last but not the least, market needed. Demand for any supply, for any industry over there. If we are establishing any cotton mill, cotton textile industry, or any other industry, first of all, we need the demand. If there is no market, no demand, there will be no use of any industry. As same things, these are the factors applicable for cotton textile also. Now we are going to the centers. As I have already shown, these are the industrial zones. Now, center name, I already told that whenever you will be asked to write the center name, please mention the state name also. Then you write the center name. So, Maharashtra, if I am talking about Maharashtra, center's name obviously will be Mumbai, Nagpur, Solapur. These are. Mumbai is very famous. It is known as Lancashire of India. And in Gujarat, Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is known as Manchester of India. For why? These are the comparison made. This is the comparison made because in these places, cotton textile industry is very much developed. That's why these are the comparison made. The other center, Chennai, in southern India, Tamil Nadu, Chennai, Coimbatore, Madurai, these are the places. Kerala, Kochi is the center. Then eastern India, West Bengal. In West Bengal, Kolkata. So, see, you can understand properly that I am mentioning the state name as well as the center name. That is the proper distribution. Whenever you will be asked that write the distribution or center name. In my opinion, you should mention the states also. That will be better. Next, see, as we have already discussed centers, why they have grown up, the factors. Now, there are some problems too. For cotton textile industry, the main problems in India, availability of raw material is not well. It is less and quality is also not good. As I already told, they need to import long staple cotton. In India, mainly middle staple cotton grow. So that's why raw material availability that should be much more to make that industry much more developed. This is a problem. Another problem I will say here, many sit mills are there. Okay, strikes in mills, that is also a problem. Outdated, backdated machinery. Government policy must be more. Government should look after that things. So these are the things. Last point I will mention, that is also a very important point. Stiff competition from the artificial or synthetic fiber. Polyester, nylon. How many of us use nowadays cotton properly, thoroughly? No. So, there is stiff competition from synthetic fibers. That is also harming cotton textile industry in India. After cotton textile industry, sugar industry is the second important industry in India, as we are discussing agro-based industry. Now, it provides huge employment to the skilled and semi-skilled workers in India. There is a sugar belt, mainly in Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Bihar. These are the region known as sugar belt of India, as sugar can grow well here. Now, as I am talking about that it is very developed, then what are the reason for the development? As I already told, no, that factors will be more or less same. Here the first factor, raw material. Here raw material will be sugarcane. So this region sugarcane grow well in northern India, as we are discussing. Then good market, demand, transport facility is good, power supply is good. So cheap labor, skilled and semi-skilled labor. So these are the factors making this industry developed. Now, I told already developed, but now that some recent years we are seeing that southern India is also flourishing in sugar industry. They are also developing. Now Uttar Pradesh is no longer the main center. Now Maharashtra became. Now southern India, they are getting development. Then why? There is also some reason, must be some reason. In northern India, problem occurred, that old machineries, backdated machineries, management problem. So due to this, southern India, mainly Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, these are the region getting developed in sugar industry. Other factors for southern India, mainly black soil, sugarcane can grow well. Then power supply, good transport facility, port facility, and market also. Population zone, densely populated area, market also, demand. So these are the capital investment also. So these are the reason. Now in this discussion, I need to say another thing that is very special for sugarcane. Sugarcane must be crushed within a certain period of time, within 24 hours. Why? Because if it is not getting crushed, the sucrose content will be decreasing then. Okay, we cannot use it no longer. So that's why within some period, 24 hours, it need to be crushed. Now in southern India, maybe there are some problem of crushing after harvesting, crushing in northern India, but southern India, they are not showing any problem over there. Good transport facility, communication facility, making that crushing well. Okay, the methods, production methods are very well, good new machineries they are using, good management. So these are the reasons southern India suddenly developed. Now I should come to the centers, already little bit mentioned. Northern India centers, Uttar Pradesh, Kanpur, Lucknow, Saharanpur, Meerut, these are the center. Then Bihar, Champaran, Darbhanga, Punjab, Amritsar, West Bengal, 24 Parganas, and as well as Murshidabad, Tamil Nadu, Madurai, for Andhra Pradesh, Visakhapatnam. These are the important center for sugar industry in India. These are the discussed factors and the reason. Though sugar industry in India is also having some problem, facing some problem. First of all, the production cost is very high, and the farmers are not getting the benefit. They are selling the product directly to the sugar mill. Okay, transport problem is there, communication problem is there, and as I told, transport communication must be good. Otherwise, if it is not crushed within 24 hours, the sucrose content will decrease. So then what is the use? So that transport facility must be good over there. In India, some mills are using old machineries, backdated machineries, management problem also they are facing. Then not good quality of raw material, as I told, good quality of sugarcane needed, good soil, climate, that is also needed. So these are the things. Market needed, proper power supply needed, then labor needed, cheap labor needed. These are the reason, these are the problem actually that India is facing nowadays. Very recent years India is facing for sugar industry. In mineral based industry, iron and steel industry is one of the biggest and important industry in India. While taking the name iron and steel industry, we should say it is the backbone, or it is many names can be given: basic industry or key industry, or backbone of any industrial economy, civilization, backbone of civilization. Now why? Because it can produce the other material which can help, which can support the other industries. From iron and steel industry, we are getting engineering goods, defense equipments, household goods, machineries, agricultural machineries, furnitures, everything. So it is helping the other industries also. Other industries are dependent on iron and steel. That's why it is the key industry or basic industry. In India, obviously, it is very important industry. Now, the centers are according to a syllabus, as it is made a little bit reduced. TISCO, previously named Tata Iron and Steel Company, now it is Tata Steel Plant, and Rourkela Steel Plant, RSP. That two plants we will read in detail. Now, iron and steel industry, later we are discussing that. Iron and steel industry, for growing any steel industry, we need more or less the same factor: availability of raw material, power, good water supply, good transport, capital investment is very important factor, and then transport, capital investment, and market. These are the factors needed for iron and steel industry to be grown up. In India, iron and steel industries are run by public as well as private, both. And two types of industry, two division we will see, that one is integrated steel plant and other is mini steel plant. Now, integrated steel plant means every work done in one operational unit or in one complex. These are the big complex. Many people work there, provide a large employment, and capital investment is also huge. Skilled and semi-skilled laborers are needed hugely. So these are known as integrated steel plant, generally the big plants. Now the names, as I already two names told, which I will discuss later in detail. Tata Steel Plant and Rourkela Steel Plant, both are in eastern India. Other than that, Vilai, Bokaro, Visheshwara Iron and Steel Company, then Visakhapatnam, Durgapur Steel Plant. So these are the integrated or big steel plants in India, where every work done, rolling, making coke, everything done in one unit. Now, other than that, the smaller unit, these are known as mini steel plant. The name is suggesting mini steel plant. Now here, capital investment in comparison with integrated steel plant, it is less, and workers are also less, and these are not all the process cannot be done in one unit, not complex unit. So these are mini steel plant. These are also some good example can be given. Mukund Steel, Jindal Steel Plant, these are also not very less, not very small, but in comparison to that integrated steel plant, these are known as mini steel plant. Here the number of workers less and capital investment also less. Now, as I told, we will discuss two center, Tata Steel Plant and Rourkela. Let's start with Tata Steel Plant. In 1907, by Jamshedji Naushatji Tata. It is established in Jamshedpur, and it is not only in India, in Asia also one of the biggest establishment till now. Now, what are the factors make it so developed, so well established? What are the factors working over there? First of all, raw material, availability of raw material is very good here because very near Chota Nagpur plateau. So, and from Raniganj area they can get the coal. So not only coal, iron ore, dolomite, manganese, what are the minerals needed for iron and steel industry, they are getting well. Then transport facility is very well, port facility, that is also a very important point, as I told, for export and import both, in both same. So that is good. Power supply is well because DVC, Damodar Valley Corporation is very near. Then they are getting water from, as Tata Steel Plant located in the confluence of Subarnarekha and Kharkai River. So they are getting very easily the water supply also. Transport facility is also good. Capital investment is good. So these are the reason making that Tata Steel Plant very flourished and one of the biggest establishment in India. Next we are coming to Rourkela. It is in Orissa. As I told, both are in eastern region according to your syllabus what given. Rourkela Steel Plant, RSP. The main factors here again, availability of raw material is very well. They are getting coal from Raniganj area. Other than coal, that manganese, dolomite, iron ore, especially iron and steel company we are getting. So from Orissa, Mayurbhanj, Banai, these other region they can get the supply. Then water can be supplied well near Brahmani or Sankha river. They are getting the water. Power supply, they are getting power supply from Hirakud power project. It is also very important point. Then capital investment, transport is well developed. Capital investment is there. Port facility they are getting, and labor, skilled labor they are getting. So these are the reason making Rourkela also very flourishing and very developed in India. So these two plants we are, I already taught that Tata and Rourkela, they are providing immensely to the Indian economy.